It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio. So that time when Dad was there for you, that time when Dad was there for you. For instance, Scott Watson, the gentleman who does our news, the most well-known personality in radio ever, the biggest name.
Ugh, no.
His daughter had an adventure with her car yesterday.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, my goodness. So I was on my way home. I got a phone call from my wife, and she said, first of all, this is never good when you hear, don't freak out. Don't worry. But, and I thought, oh, no, what's going on? Turned out my daughter was on her way home, got into a little fender, not a fender bender, but kind of bent a little bit of the tire and the wheel, hit a pothole that was so deep. Yeah, it flattened the tire, bent the wheel.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, she was able to get to a parking lot and everything, but a little shaken up, but thankfully it could have been a lot worse, but it wasn't.
And then there goes Super Dad. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, so what'd you do?
Well, I got there and I said, are you okay? Everything's fine. Looked at the tire and we had it towed to a nearby tire place. And
There
they
you are.
Pulled it off and checked it out. So
Scott-
I've got some things to do over the next couple of days.
You do.
Fixing wheels and tires and stuff.
Scott's that dad that will do anything for his kids, you know?
Absolutely. I
That's
mean,
so good.
It's what
I try.
It's what you do. My daughter had a barbecue on the interstate.
A barbecue?
So her car, nobody got hurt. I will say that, but it caught on fire. Basically, yeah, while she was going down the interstate.
No.
And so my husband's like, we got to get in the car. We got to go get her. And so, yeah, we just sort of watched it go up in flames and
I'm so
smolder on
sorry.
the side of the road.
When did that happen? The other week?
No, there's been 6 years ago, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what
Good.
happened when I was going to get her yesterday?
What?
I got behind the slowest person on
Of
the
course.
road. And I'm like, hurry up. I got to
That
get to my girl.
always
Come
happens. And then you want to go on the sidewalk and speed down the road like you're Matt Damon.
Felt like jumping the car or something to get around it.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
I have to brag on Scott Watson. Good night. He is a dad that's there for his kids, for him to drop everything yesterday to rush off to where his daughter was, where she hit a pothole and the tire was flat and the wheel was dented, right?
The rim
Tire was
bent.
flat. We thought it was a flat tire and got it to the tire place, and they said, hey, the tire actually looks okay, but it's the wheel. It's got a little dent in it. And, the backstory to this, this is her first car, got it about 6 months ago. So she's been very careful. She's a great driver, and I just feel so bad. So now the tire's sitting the car's in the driveway with the spare, and I guess they call it the donut. So
that little awkward tire they give
the
you.
little bitty.
We called it the Barbie car tire.
Right?
Yeah.
Can't do anything
Yeah.
with that thing.
So
Why
hopefully
you
in a couple
put
of
it in
days
there?
we'll get everything put back together for her. But I do hate it for her.
But Dad Scott is going to be doing all of that.
Listen,
Yeah.
Scott this morning, I really feel has inspired a lot of dads just to drop anything to do for their kids. And I think most dads would. But Scott, you're inspiring people this morning. Just want to let you know that. You are.
Oh, my goodness.
You
That's
are
awesome.
Yeah, you should feel awesome today.
Put a
really.
smile on your face.
So Eric is here at 800-447-7234. What's this about your dad, Eric? What can you tell us this morning about your dad?
Something that I didn't realize when I was younger, and he has passed away now, but my dad never said that he couldn't do something. And that's had an effect on me. He always was able to figure it out. And I love that about him. So if something was broken, he would fix it. If someone needed help and they didn't know how to do something, he would figure it out and help them do it. And so I've kind of adapted that same kind of style into my own life, where I don't look at things as just impossible. I go, okay, I bet there's a way to figure this out, and I bet I can do it. So I do appreciate that part of my dad, and I think that makes him great.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
So Dina has a very interesting life, and she's living her best Barbie life right now. It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio. She's in her mid-50s, and she's like, I live like Barbie. Everything's pink.
She wants everything. Her house is now pink. The inside walls are pink. She has pink couches. She has pink flowers on the walls. She dresses. She says her entire wardrobe is pink, and it's different variations of the pink color. I love that hot pink, that Barbie pink, and that's what most of her wardrobe seems to be.
And her house too, right?
Oh, her house, the walls, the furniture,
Outside, inside, everything.
everything.
And this was
is
not,
pink.
if I understand correctly, this was not inspired by the movie.
No, she's been doing this for a while. So much so that she's had time to acquire all of these pink things. She has, and I need to know where she got this, a pink coffee maker.
Wait a minute.
Oh, my
Liz
goodness.
Riles wants a pink coffee maker.
Look,
now.
I would bedazzle that thing. It would have
Really?
rhinestones on it.
What?
Oh,
Liz.
like a disco ball.
Joey's her husband. Joey, I feel for you, bud.
He doesn't drink coffee. He don't care.
Yeah, but still, it's in the kitchen.
So what?
Come on.
She has a pink toaster.
Oh, come on.
There is a hot pink.
Don't tell me you want a pink toaster.
I would like a pink toaster.
No,
but
Joey,
listen,
dude, I'm feeling for you now.
No.
You just so need a man cave.
Listen, this woman, I know she's got one of these, and I want one too. It's a pink KitchenAid mixer,
No.
and it's hot pink. And if she doesn't have one, she needs to get one because it is so much fun. The more pink, the more rhinestone, the more bling, the better. Are you just stunned?
Yeah.
Rob is just stunned.
I'm.
Right?
No.
Why? Really? If Rob's wife Amy brought home a pink coffee maker, you wouldn't be okay with that?
Enough said.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
From WYFF in the upstate of South Carolina is our meteorologist, Chris Justice, along with us this morning, which he got a little flashback of history all of a sudden in his hands. And this is an amazing story of something that happened was this a thrift store where the story begins for you?
It begins there, but it begins with our viewers. I mean, much like your listeners, you guys know it. Our community is one of a kind. I've worked in the Charlotte market. I've worked in Savannah. I've worked here in the upstate. There's nowhere like the Carolinas and Georgia. And I think our viewers, our listeners, they're like family to us. And this viewer, Alyssa, reached out and she said, hey, I was going through my attic and I had a box full of my mom's stuff. She used to frequent flea markets, and there was a flea market find box. And inside of it was this Bible, and it was from 1917, and it was from a relative of mine, Sue Justice, from my hometown of Edneyville.
Okay, so this is a complete stranger that finds this in a box from a flea market, and she put two and two together that this might possibly be a family member of yours?
Yeah, she watches WIFF faithfully, and she saw Edneyville, which is where my family orchard is, fifth generation apple growers, same land all the way through. And she said, I bet this is one of your family. So I started asking my dad, my aunts, uncles about this. And sure enough, we believe Sue from 1917 here is my great-grandfather's aunt. And sure enough, she sent a Mr. Hoyt Hack a Bible right before he was deployed for World War I.
And it looks like it's because you've posted this on your social, and of course we have it on his radio TV. But it looks like a little New Testament is kind of what she was sending him.
Yeah, it's like a pocket Bible, and researching it, they would let be for the soldiers to carry in their pocket right here, so that they could have the word right there. And it's so special to me. They wrote something in her. She wrote something, a little note.
What'd she
to him.
write? Oh,
It says September 17th to Mr. Hoyt Hack by Sue Justice. She said, please see page number 423. And he flipped to 423 here. And she wrote the page number because there wasn't actually a page number. So she wrote it in there.
Okay.
And it's basically the sinner's prayer. She's basically hoping that he will say the sinner's prayer and become saved. And hopefully this will be an encouragement for him as he's over in the war. But it's it's the stories that this could tell, where it's been, the good word that maybe it's shared in such a tough time is amazing. Just the stories that could probably unpack.
And just how God got it to you. I mean, 106 years ago, right? This thing gets into a soldier's hands, and then this journey of life falling into a flea market, into a box, into an attic, and now in your hands at your home.
Exactly. She reached out and I said, well, that's pretty neat. And she said, well, can I drop it by or mail it to you? I said, yeah, I'd love to meet you. So one day she just dropped it by, didn't say anything. And the front desk calls me and I go up there and I open the envelope and here it is. wow, this thing is packed. And so I wrote her back and just sent my thanks to Alyssa Farmer in the Greenville area. Just so thankful that she thought to do that and return the Bible to our family, and everybody's so excited to see it, and just a really neat story.
Well, I feel like we need to find Hoyt and Hoyt's family, and we need to put, the middle to this story, and then get it to Nicholas Sparks, and then Nicholas Sparks makes a movie out of it and a book, and then everybody can be part of it, because it sounds like she had a heart for him, whether that was they were romantically involved or it was just somebody that was on her heart and she wanted him to know Jesus.
Exactly. She really cared for him and definitely wanted to know Jesus. She's underlined scripture in here in Matthew. It is really sweet. We did a little digging. There was a hack hotel that opened a mile and a half from where our current farm sits right now in Hendersonville. It ran from the 1920s to about the 1940s before it was tore down. But we never saw Sue's name changed to Hack, so we're not sure if they got married, what kind of the story is there. We're digging in with family members that know. Unfortunately, my grandfather has passed, so we don't have that information right at hand, but very interested to know the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say.
So before we let you go, what kind of notes are in it outside of what you already shared?
Just underlining scripture. She underlined Matthew here. She gave him some wisdom in John. I mean, she it's clear that she was trying to give him some encouragement while he was going. He was stationed in Augusta, about to go to war, and sure enough, was trying to give him some encouragement. And it looks like, I mean, it's warm, but it's still in good shape. So it looks like maybe he kept it with him for a little while, because it's not in mint condition, but it's been read.
Close
That's
to his heart.
Quite amazing.
Close
Chris
to his
Justice,
heart.
thank you for the time this morning, and thank you for being a part of the His Radio family.
Thanks for having me. I'll always enjoy you guys.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
There's this one person, I don't know if you've seen them, if you're ever traveling, vacation, anything on the highway, specifically in North Carolina. They have a public service announcement on the tailgate of their pickup.
Yeah.
And it's pointing to each direction in the words that are on the tailgate, one to one signal light on the left, the other to the other signal light on the right.
And they have blinker written beside the arrows pointing to said blinker lights.
One says passing lane, which is to the left. The other says cruising lane, which is to the right.
It's just a PSA. It's public service announcement.
I just want to make sure you understand that I understand. I thought I did. One time I thought, this has to be Scott's truck.
I relate to this guy because the one thing that irks me so much is people not using their turn signals. Please, let us know where you're headed, where you're going. I see Liz looking around.
You know who doesn't? Yeah, that's Liz. Liz does not.
My youngest
Come
son.
on, Liz.
I do for the most part, but sometimes, and you know what? I just realized something. If I'm close to my home and I know where I'm going, I don't use the blinker sometimes.
Well, listen, I get it for some people because and I use my blinkers. I have to. I'm like a rule follower. So I do use the turn signals, and very well aware that the person behind me that I want to get into that lane in front of is going to speed up anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I get it. It's okay. And I don't know if you've ever been on the turnpike in Jersey. The signal does work there, and people use it, but it's more of a warning that, hey, buddy, I'm getting over no matter what you think.
Oh, sure.
That's what the turn signal is for in Jersey. I'll tell you that.
It means more, I'm coming. I'm headed your way, so watch out. I don't know what it is. My youngest son, he's like, do you ever use a turn signal? And I'm like, yes, I do, especially if I know somebody's really close behind me. It makes me think about it. But I think, unfortunately, sometimes I'm in my own headspace. And
You know what drives my kids crazy? I use my turn signals in the neighborhood when I'm driving home.
I do too.
Down the neighborhood streets. And they're like, why are you doing that? Nobody cares. But I do it just to irk them. But I always use my turn signals.
well, the deer need to know where you're going.
Right?
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Mark invited his girlfriend out for a really special date. He told her, he said, get all dressed up. I mean, to the nines. Get your hair done, get your makeup done.
I have a feeling I know what's going to happen.
Well, and then be here at this specific time. So she shows up, and as she's going into the venue, she looks around. there's her family, there's her friends. Like, what in the world? He planned a wedding. They
Wait
had
a
been
minute.
dating for 5 months, I think it is.
Okay.
So not too long.
So let me ask one question.
Yeah.
This might be an obvious one, but are they engaged already?
No. They're just dating.
So the guy, he planned a whole wedding.
He got the wedding bands. He got the preacher. He got the family. He got the friends. He was dressed in a suit. She was not in a wedding dress. She was in a nice dress. And so there's the expectation from him.
Oh, of course.
It almost felt, to me, if it were me, I would feel like I was backed into a corner. You know, and I would come out fighting, honestly. Like, oh, what?
Really?
Like-
She must have went through with it then.
No, she
Whoa.
contemplated. She was
Okay.
like, "Do I do this?" And I can imagine all of this happened very, very quickly. Do I do this? Do I marry him, even though I know I'm not ready? So anyway, she did the right thing, quite honestly, and she said, "This is not where I am. You might be there right now. I am not at that place yet." And so,
In front
no.
of everybody.
I think she pulled him to the side and told him this,
Okay.
but at the same time, he kind of had egg on his face because
Yeah.
he had to tell. And think about, he had it catered. He may have had a DJ there. You know,
Wonder
the whole
what they
thing.
did with the rest of the day. How crushing for him.
How crushing. Hopefully they
But-
had a party, you know, even if he went home. and
Right,
was
but
upset.
I kind of feel like Liz, she made the right decision. If she wasn't ready to throw herself into it like that and just out of whim go, oh, okay, everybody's around, I better go through with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I like surprises. That's not a
That's not a
surprise. That you
Surprise pop-up wedding 5 months into the dating experience? Probably not.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard this, but this happened at some Walmarts, a slew of Walmarts in New York, and they're kind of getting the word out because it might happen here. Who knows? But you know those little scanners at Walmart? There have been some scammers. Did I say scanners?
Skimmers.
Skimmers.
Yeah.
Skimmers at Walmart, which is what you put your credit card in when you go to pay. That's all that is. And so there are some scammers that somehow, and I don't know how they did it, but they put little microscopic cameras at them. So when you swipe the card, it gets the info.
Yeah. And
Crazy.
So they put something also inside where you swipe your card. I know this because
Microscopic cameras.
no, this is something different too that fits over the top or in where you put your card.
That happens at gas stations,
Yes.
but not at these Walmarts where the skimmers
Oh,
are.
I thought the Walmart was happening as well.
No, that's something totally
Okay.
different. Yeah.
Because it happened to me at a gas station. Had no idea. The guy got like $250. I happened to see it hit my bank account. So I called the bank immediately, called the sheriff's office, and basically there was nothing they could do about it. Like they felt like they knew who it was that was doing it.
You got your money back.
I got my money back
Yeah.
from the bank.
So
yeah.
that was taken care of.
Well, that was because I noticed it right away, and so I shut down the debit card right away.
Good for you.
But, I mean, this happened at Walmart when you're going through self-checkout, not like if you go through a line where there's a cashier.
Correct.
Oh.
So the little skimmer there at those, they're putting microscopic things. So here's what they're saying to do. They say if you swipe your card, don't do that anymore. Get yourself a card that has either a chip or a tap.
And that makes sense. That makes sense. So they can't kind of clone it. They can't
Correct.
grab it. Okay.
Correct.
They say to do that at gas stations as well.
I do that myself.
Yes.
I have it on my phone.
Yeah, or go inside and pay, which, you know, that takes
That's
away.
horrible.
Right? It takes away the convenience of
And you can't
swiping.
do that ahead of time. You have to do it ahead of time, rather. You have to walk in, pay, then come out.
You're listening to Rob and Liz in the morning.
His radio.
Nasser is a gorilla at the Toronto Zoo and loves social media. It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio. So here's what Nasser does. Nasser will react to anybody who's showing him a selfie of them or a video of him doing his tricks inside the enclosure where he is and lives at the zoo. So much so, he's been addicted to this. Because anybody will come up and go, oh, check out what Nasser does. And so people will take videos and do selfies and stuff and literally will show him the video. And he's like mesmerized watching this thing. The zoo is so concerned now that they taped up a sign asking people not to do that anymore.
Well, there's another gorilla named Amare, and he had the same issue. Like, anytime somebody would show him a video, he started not paying attention to the other gorillas. Like, he would make, like, sign language almost, let me see your phone, because he wanted to watch more videos. I don't know if he was seeing how many likes he got. I don't know,
Right?
but
the zookeepers literally are concerned that he's not interacting with the other gorillas. So they put up a sign saying, don't do this. Stop it. He's not interacting. He's not being social with any other gorilla. He just wants to see himself.
And I guess when you go up to take a picture of him, then he might be like, let me see, the screen so he can see himself. That's exactly the way babies act. Like toddlers. Oh, my goodness. So Jasenia, our 2-year-old grandbaby, anytime you have a phone out, she wants to look at herself. She thinks at first it's somebody else, and then she says, oh, Jessie. So she knows it's her.
Interesting.
Mesmerized. So we're putting this away now.
Okay,
we're
well,
not going to be on the
tape
phone.
a sign to the window.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It's Rob and Liz in the morning, his radio.
You may be doing this right now, and if you are, Gen Z has a new term for it, bed rotting. And that is lying in your bed all snuggly and cozy and warm, watching Netflix, listening to his radio, maybe having some snacky snacks. They call it bed rotting.
Why is it called rotting?
I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
I guess it's sort of like vegging out, just chilling,
You're
whatever.
just rotting away?
Yeah.
That's what I think when I hear rotting, why somebody's come up with that term.
I don't know. I don't know why they call it rotting, but I guess if you're not moving, you're not getting any kind of exercise, you're not up moving around, you are kind of just letting your body rot away.
So if you mow your lawn a lot, like Scott does, is that lawn rotting?
If you mow your lawn?
Yeah.
No, if you let it go, you're letting it rot. And that's what this is. You're just laying in bed, not doing anything.
Letting yourself go?
Kind of.
Okay.
Because you're not exercising, you're not socializing, you're not working, you're
Scott's not rotting then.
I got one. How about recliner rotting?
It's the same thing. It would
Okay.
be the
That's what I like to do.
Same exact thing.
That'd be known as bed rotting if you're just in the recliner?
I think it'd be chair rotting, yeah.
Chair rotting.
I think so.
It just sounds disgusting.
Sofa rotting. Yeah, it does sound disgusting. So let's